Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Margaret Bennett, Chief Executive of Southern New South Wales Health, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you all here tonight. It's fabulous to see such a big room full of people. We've put out 400 chairs, and we need to work out how many are here by subtracting the empty chairs. But I really appreciate your time and your interest. I'm hoping that you'll find tonight very useful. I welcome you all as community members. There's health staff, volunteers, there's representatives from Health Infrastructure, New South Wales Ambulance and 4Health, the body that is running the Urgent Care Centre. I will be welcoming Fiona Phillips, member for Gilmore. I don't know that she's here just yet, but she is coming. And I do want to recognise one of our Southern LHD board members, Leanne Barnes. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I welcome Brad Rossiter, the chair of the Eurobodalla Community Consultation Committee, and other members of that committee in the room. We have received apologies from Michael Holland, who wasn't available tonight. And I would now like to get the evening underway by asking our Southern New South Wales Local Health District Manager of Aboriginal Community Engagement, Jared Dennis, to give an acknowledgement of country. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Mark. First of all, welcome everyone. It's a privilege to be up here on the stage and see so many faces and usually I don't need the mic too, but that's a surprise. Just welcome everyone. As I said, I don't usually need the microphone to talk to people. So, my name is Jared Dennis. I'm a proud Milroy man from out of Walgett. I work in the Southern New South Wales Local Health District as a Community Engagement Manager for all things project-wise related to Babies Bay Community Health and Eurobodalla Regional Hospital. On the way, it's going pretty well, so that's good. It thanks to Southern for undertaking this privilege for Aboriginal people to be respected and represented, so thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the Walbunja clan of Ewan Nation and all our local Aboriginal elders, past, present and emerging, here tonight, and I'd like to extend that to the non-Aboriginal people here today that joins us to have this community meeting and gathering on Walbunja land. So let's make it a nice one and a peaceful one, and Wallawani, eh?
Well done.
Thanks, Jared, and welcome to everyone who's coming in. There are chairs down here, and all of our crew will help you to find seats. Just a little bit of quick housekeeping. I think all of the locals are very familiar with this environment. But the toilets are clearly marked, the exits are clearly marked, there's water down the back. You will see Dylan here is filming the presentations tonight, and they will be popped up on our Eurobodalla Regional Hospital Project website. And the other thing is any new questions that are raised tonight will be added to the website under frequently asked questions. I do want to just, for those of you in the room that have phones with you, we are using a Slido. Can we put the Slido slide up? Ben and Penny here could help any of you with this, but Slido is a great way of being able to ask anonymous questions. So even if we've got a big question and answer section as part of tonight, but the reality is not everyone will be able to have their question addressed tonight, given the size of the crowd. But this is a great opportunity for you to ask your questions anonymously. And what we will do, if you want to give your name, you can, and we can speak to you directly. But the use of Slido doesn't require a name, and we would add those questions and answers to the website, as I mentioned before. Ben here and Penny, where are you, Penny? Oh, you're there. Ben and Penny and Jim, any of our crew could assist you if you're having trouble accessing Slido. The other thing I did say is that there will be time for questions at the end, and we'll have roving microphones. Also, you can contact us at any time on the website address that you should have on your seat, I think, your feedback at health.nsw.gov.au. I just don't want to use up time with too many introductions, but I just want you to all be familiar with some of the people in the room that you can contact at any time. So Brad Scotcher is the General Manager of the Coastal Network here. Louise McFadden is our Project Director for the Eurobodalla redevelopment. Dr. Stuart Stapleton is a Specialist Emergency Department Doctor who'll be speaking to you tonight. Our colleagues from Ambulance, so we have Steve Owen, who's the Assistant Zone Manager for the Southern Section, and Sue Dodds here with us tonight, and they'll be available to answer questions when we get through a few of these summary presentations. Matt Malone is the Senior Project Director with Health Infrastructure, who'll be overseeing the building of not only the Community Health Centre at the Batemans Bay Hospital, but also, of course, the Eurobodalla Regional Hospital. I don't know that they're here with us yet, but For Health, the operators of the Urgent Care Centre, are you here? Oh, there you are. So Matt Baldwin, General Manager, and Kari Young, Practice Manager, our most recently new partners from For Health, and certainly the Urgent Care Centre has seen, from its opening, I think on the 4th of December to today, has seen 1,300 patients. So they've been busy, which is wonderful. So the aims from our point of view tonight is to provide the latest information about the Eurobodalla Regional Hospital and also the Batemans Bay Community Health Project, to ensure that all the community members know where to go for information and as we progress with the projects, and how to get in touch with the team with any questions, suggestions or concerns. And the other thing, of course, is to answer your questions to the best of our ability. Now, if you find, and I hope you do, you're giving your time to be here for a couple of hours tonight, if this is a useful forum for you, we can do these again. This is, I think, face-to-face is the best way, but we need to be having many and varied ways of communicating with a big community. So if you've got any other suggestions, there's so much online, but of course not everybody accesses the online forum. So you're just going to hear a short update from myself, and then Matt will give an update from HI, and Stuart will give an update, and then we will run through the questions that we've received tonight on Slido, or go straight to the roaming microphones. Before that, Peter Ryan, known to I think all of you in the community, Peter is leading a community group with a focus on saving the Batemans Bay ED. In any major development of a new hospital or any major change in the community, there's always going to be groups and people representing alternative and other views, and we respect that and work with them in that. So we're pleased that Peter is here tonight. Peter and I have had good communication throughout his endeavours, and he will speak for a moment before the question and answer section, which will be facilitated by Brad, our General Manager. So, a few things from me. As I've already said, thank you very much for the effort in being here. Healthcare is at the heart of any community, and it's right and appropriate that we've got, I would say, just about 400 people here tonight who are anxious to hear the update and to have their questions answered. I'm certainly very committed, along with my team, to regular dialogue. We've been having a range of sessions over the last 3 years, but now as it starts to get a bit more exciting as we get closer to building and change, I think it's very appropriate and very welcome that there's such strong community interest. It's expected that concerns or questions will arise throughout the project. It's our role to provide clear information and reassurance. It's also our role to say to you when there is a question, so please don't ask me tonight about the bypass. I'm not in charge of the bypass. So, you know, sometimes I think being in charge of the bypass might be easier than being in charge of health. But anyway, so our job is to represent any questions that you ask tonight and answer them to the best of our ability, but also refer things to the Minister and Ministry. We'll continue to share information through a range of channels, including newsletters, social media, media outlets, pop-up stalls, community meetings. We're very happy and regularly do speak to small groups, and you just need to let us know what you would find useful. We're committed to providing the best care close to home and reducing the need for local residents to be transferred to Canberra or Sydney for treatment. It would be fair to say that so much of what is happening over here on the coast is very, very exciting, but it does represent a big change. And with big change comes concern and anxiety about how that change will impact, whether you're a staff member or a community member. The launch of the new urgent care clinic in December has been a great success, and I've just mentioned that. It does, for anyone who's not aware, it does provide free walk-in assessment and treatment, and obviously certainly hit the ground running during the holiday period that's ongoing. There's much work underway at Batemans Bay and Maria hospitals to prepare for the move to the new hospital and to a higher level of service such as intensive care. I'll answer a question straight up. Big focus on staffing development. Community always asks me, how do you know you're going to get the staff? Well, you would all be aware that nursing and medical staffing across Australia and internationally is a very big challenge, but we are having success. So we're welcoming the first tranche of 89 overseas nurses that were recruited last year, and we'll do the same again this year. We've also increased our graduates to 121 this last year, and we'll do the same this year. So notwithstanding the challenges, Southern Health is getting some real traction with both nursing and medical recruitment. The second, so that needs to be maintained. Certainly, as you would be aware, one of our challenges is finding accommodation for these staff. And so I don't pretend that we've got that sorted. We were fortunate to get $15 million last year from the government to build some staff accommodation, but there is a need across our district, and we're advocating to get additional funding to support some staff accommodation in the Eurobodalla. So that is certainly a challenge. So the project development team is developing detailed change management plans to ensure that there's minimal disruption to patients and staff when we transition to the new facilities. Look, that is a huge job. I've been fortunate, or perhaps unfortunate, to have been involved in my career in 3 hospital moves, and the devil is in the detail and the preparation, and hopefully we're not moving next week. So we've got a couple of years to plan all of this, and there's a huge amount of work that goes into not only community involvement and education, but also planning what is right for our staff. So yes, there will be some staff in Batemans Bay who are not keen to travel to Maria. And these are individual conversations that need to be worked through. But of course there will be expanding opportunities in Batemans Bay too, with the community health facility, with hospital in the home, and with a range of other services. So I don't have any concerns that we will be able to find a respectful and supportive pathway for our staff. My greater concern is finding a suitable accommodation for the significant numbers of new staff that we need. So anyway, the project team is developing detailed change management plans, and even just in fairly recent times we had the very successful experience of transitioning the old Goulburn Hospital to the new Goulburn Hospital. So even on our district, we've done that recently, and we've got people who are very good at this detailed planning. Staff at Batemans Bay and Maria are being provided with regular updates and drop-in sessions and opportunities to provide feedback. But of course, we do appreciate that the change that the community is dealing with and asking questions about is also mirrored with our own staff. Beyond the bricks and mortar elements of the new building, we're focused on long-term strategies that will contribute to high-quality, sustainable health services in the Eurobodalla. Training and professional development. Transport is a big thing. It's another question that many of you have asked me along the way. How will Batemans Bay people who don't have access to their own vehicle or don't drive get to visit loved ones in the Eurobodalla, in the new Eurobodalla Regional Hospital? Absolutely, that is a question we understand, and we're already working with local government and with others on how we can resolve that and provide some options and community transport support. This, of course, is a challenge that many hospitals undergoing change across Australia have had to deal successfully with, so there's plenty of people for us to work with. We're also strengthening, it's not all about the bricks and mortar, strengthening virtual care so that people can have access to specialists elsewhere without having to have transport. We're already having great success in that area. Working in partnership, particularly with our university partners, and with the hope that we, in the next couple of years, will have a university department of rural health based here in Southern, building on the existing partnership that we've got with University of Wollongong, University of Canberra and ANU. So we've already got that, but to actually turn that into a formal University Department of Rural Health would strengthen our capacity to grow our own staff here in Southern. That business case has been done and has been forwarded to the Commonwealth, and I'm cautiously optimistic that that is something that we will achieve. Anyway, enough from me for the moment. I'd like to invite Matt now, please, to give an update from Health Infrastructure. Thank you.
Sorry, just before Matt gets started, there are a few seats down the front, so anybody that's standing down the back, if you did want to sit down, there are seats available.
Thank you, Mark. Can everyone hear me? Well enough? No? Turn it up a bit. How's that? Any better? Okay. Wonderful. I'll just quickly start by acknowledging the traditional owners. Thank you for that acknowledgement, Jared. The Wurundjeri people of the Yuin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past and present. Thank you, Southern New South Wales Local Health District, for inviting HI Health Infrastructure to provide an update on the Eurobodalla Hospital Project and the Batemans Bay Community Health Project. They're both very, very exciting projects, and I've been fortunate enough to work on both of these now since about 2020, so quite a long tenure. Starting with the new hospital development, New South Wales Government is investing $260 million to deliver a modern purpose-built hospital that will support the long-term health needs of communities in the Eurobodalla Shire, from the Bay here to Nauru. The new hospital will be larger than both the Maria and Batemans Bay hospitals combined, and is being delivered on a new site southeast of Maria with space for growth as the population expands and health needs evolve. The new site is located in the centre of the Eurobodalla Shire and supports the current and projected population growth of the Shire. This hospital site in Maria was selected in consultation with community and consumers, Aboriginal representatives, Transport for New South Wales, Southern New South Wales Local Health District, Health Infrastructure, visiting medical officers, and the Eurobodalla Shire Council. The site also meets a range of other important selection criteria, including flood and bushfire zones, capacity for future expansion, transport links, and access to key infrastructure such as the Maria Airport and the planned Maria Bypass. Other minor criteria often included in the site selection process include things like availability of land, terrain, and access to utilities. The new hospital will deliver a significantly larger emergency department, the first intensive care unit in the Eurobodalla, increased capacity for chemotherapy treatments, and increased access to renal dialysis. Surgical and operating theatres and a day-stay surgical unit, expanded medical imaging, including an MRI service that doesn't currently exist, ambulatory care for community outpatient services, paediatric and maternity services, and a special care nursery. Mental health beds for short-term admissions, and enhanced education and training facilities, including a simulation laboratory. In addition to this, other minor infrastructure includes a helicopter pad for transfer of patients requiring specialist care to hospitals in Sydney and Canberra, more than 380 parking spaces for community and staff, large-scale windows to take advantage of natural light and views to the local vista, the use of local Aboriginal language to support wayfinding around the hospital campus and inclusion of a meeting place. Comprehensive biodiversity management plan to protect native flora and fauna. The integration of local art across the hospital campus to create engaging and interesting public health spaces that support improved wellbeing. The incorporation of sustainability principles in the design and the construction of the project. These sustainability principles are quite significant, and one of the exciting outputs is that we will be building and delivering a brand new hospital, and that gives us the best chance to start that from the right setting, the right standing. Extensive landscaping and parkland areas to enhance connections to outdoor and recreation spaces for patients, visitors, staff and the community. The current status of that project, we have been working on it for some time. Health Infrastructure in Southern New South Wales have worked together to progress the planning and the design of the new hospital, which has been informed by extensive consultation with staff from Batemans Bay and Maria hospitals, stakeholders and the community. This planning commenced in early 2021 and has included a significant number of clinicians and other stakeholders in that process. Last year, Multiplex Constructions was appointed to work with the project team and project user groups made up of hospital staff, including medical leads, nurses and service staff, to finalise the design and planning. The State Significant Development Application, which is the development application that we need to have in place to construct the new hospital, has been lodged with the Department of Planning and Environment for assessment. Main works construction is expected to start in the coming months, pending the final planning approval and award of the main works contract. Construction timeframes are expected to be confirmed once that planning approval is in place and the contract awarded. We have undertaken a fair amount of early works on the site so far. So last year we did commence work with an archaeological salvage process. The work was carried out in close consultation with traditional custodians and registered Aboriginal parties to identify Aboriginal objects and artefacts that are located on the site. Approximately 2,400 artefacts were salvaged, including sharpened silkreed, chert and quartz, as well as flakes, cores and tools. Understanding the history of the site and including local Aboriginal knowledge is essential to ensuring the new hospital is an inclusive place of healing and wellbeing for all. The project team are working with the traditional custodians and the registered Aboriginal parties and the archaeologists to determine how artefacts will be cared for in the future. In terms of the Batemans Bay Community Health Project, in the 2022-2023 New South Wales state budget, $20 million was committed by the New South Wales Government towards a community health service in Batemans Bay. The community health service will include allied health, child, youth and family care, women's health, sexual health, primary health care services such as community nursing, wound management and palliative care, Aboriginal health, community health and drug and alcohol. The community health service will provide complementary services alongside the new Batemans Bay Medicare Urgent Care Clinic, opened in 2023. In November last year, as Mark mentioned, government announced the Batemans Bay Community Health Project will be built at the existing Batemans Bay Hospital site, following a comprehensive review of possible sites in the Batemans Bay area. Master planning is now underway with community consultation commencing soon, and we will keep community updated on these opportunities. via local news, social media, website, and through the project mail-out list. It has been mentioned a couple of times, I will mention it again. If you do send us an email and ask to be included on that mail-out list, then you do get included in those updates on both projects, or on either project as you need information. Construction is expected to start later this year following the completion of planning and design. It is a much smaller facility, so it doesn't necessarily need to go through such a massive or a significant duration of planning and design. The project team will continue to work closely with staff, patients and the community to minimise construction impact on hospital services, which will remain open until the new health service and Eurobodalla Hospital are completed. And as always, we'll continue to keep the community updated as planning progresses. I just want to end by thanking those that have contributed to and shared their views and provided input into both of these significant health projects. The feedback is very, very helpful and certainly helps us deliver the modern fit-for-purpose health facilities for the Eurobodalla community. And looking forward to delivering both projects over the coming years to support better health outcomes. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. I'm concerned with the number of people standing up the back. There's 6 seats in a row here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down here as well. If you please don't feel awkward about coming forward and being comfortable. The next speaker tonight is a Director of Emergency Medicine, Dr. Stuart Stapleton. Stuart, thank you for your address tonight.
I'd first of all like to thank you all for coming along and giving us an opportunity to have a chat with you about what we're looking to do moving forward. I'll speak predominantly around looking at the critical care services that we need to have to support the Eurobodalla in terms of healthcare that it deserves. At the moment, we are a little bit pregnant in terms of how we build our specialist services in critical care into the future. Our 2 sites do not see enough patients as individual sites to be able to be recognised by any college or training scheme in Australasia. So we have no opportunity at this point in time to grow staffing into the future. It's one of the key reasons why we need to have the combined Eurobodalla Regional Hospital Emergency Department, Intensive Care Unit, ultimately General Medicine Service, Obstetrics, Gynecology, some level of paediatrics and surgery and anaesthesia. If we don't combine those services with the number of cases required to get training, things here are never going to improve and grow. It's that simple. And it's an important point to understand. Simple reason behind it, if you don't have the cases to train people, they don't get the experience, and it increases the risk to you, the community, for errors to occur. So our goal is to reduce that risk to you. The other point I'd make about it is that at the moment we are starting to get a little bit of traction in terms of bringing in better staffing, but they're still being diluted across the 2 sites. So to get to that critical mass and level, we are needing to bring it together. The other point I'd make is that when we look to attract people into the future, at the moment, I'll be frank, neither of the hospitals offer anything to attract specialists. I came along because I was planning to come here several years ago. A little virus got in the way, and I finally got to move down here full-time in December last year. But I had been coming down here working with the guys at both hospitals. I used to work in Canberra. Before that, I worked in Sydney. I've been doing emergency medicine now for over 30 years, and I've seen a lot of changes in different systems. But what I will say is that we're starting to get a little bit of improvement in the staffing, but we're not going to get to the next step until we bring things together and build a service and a system and a facility that attracts people to want to come in a modern healthcare system. And there's all sorts of reasons why we're not there at the moment. That's history. What I'm interested in is moving forward and planning on how we make that work into the future. I understand the concerns and fears and anxieties you have about this happening. An example from my own practice is that when I was a junior registrar a number of years ago at Hornsby Hospital in Sydney, was the introduction of the New South Wales trauma bypass system. Up until that time, we looked after all the trauma patients that came off the motorway going to Gosford. Those that were south of the Brooklyn Bridge came to us. When the trauma bypass system came in, there was a lot of community concern, and we were concerned about it as well as clinicians, about what's going to happen by increasing a transport time to a centre that has higher level care. We soon found out over the first 6 to 12 months of watching it, nothing bad happened. And to this day, that system has been improved upon and has been made more and more robust across the whole of New South Wales to support the critically injured patients. Other systems are being developed to support critically ill patients. We have it in place for heart attacks. It's very effective and works very well. We're bringing it in more and more in regards to stroke care, and that's starting to work really well. I must say, I'm totally impressed by the state of Telehealth Stroke Service. I think it's a fantastic thing. I've never worked with something so efficient in all my time. So all these systems come into play with bringing people to the centre that has the staff, the technology to rapidly diagnose and rapidly start modern treatment to give the best possible outcomes. And that's the goal I'm shooting for. And I hope you'll come along with us on that journey. I'm happy to answer any questions at any stage throughout the evening, so please don't hesitate.
Oh,